Hi. So, like I said in my TikTok, today I will be talking about my incident. We are going to be having some crab legs. I don't know why I feel the need to sing these days whenever I am saying something, so ignore that. But we're going to be having some crab legs today. I totally go in with my sausage already. Normally I wouldn't like post and tell people like, oh, I was in a car accident, but like on my Citizen app I decided to like check and see, like, I wonder if our incident like popped up, because you know I'm always on that Citizen app, and we popped up. So I saw on the Citizen app that there was a vehicle collision on 101 and Scottsdale Road, and there were injuries or whatever, so somebody was going to go and check it out, but like there were not even any injuries. Someone just like, you know, of course your neck is gonna kill you. Like I'm gonna feel it in the morning, my neck's gonna be sore, everything's gonna be sore, so like it's just that kind of stuff. But I mean, the people behind me, I'm sure they felt it, because those were the like straight impact, where mine was just like the last car to get hit, so like mine was more like a boom, and then that was it. That's why we pay for insurance. So unfortunately, living in Phoenix, Arizona, I'm learning that that is correct. If I lived back home, like I would be like, why are we paying so much for insurance? Like it's not that serious. But living in Phoenix, Arizona, like these drivers are insane. Like people just drive crazy out here. So I'm grateful for insurance. Like, you know, there's a reason we pay that much for insurance, because incidents like these, crazy. All right, gloves are on. And we are about to dig in. I wanted to make this to where you guys could see it, but then you can't see me. Okay, I'm gonna start with my potato. Story time. Let's go ahead and just start. I have not been to church in like a year. In like a year or so. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go this Sunday. So I'm gonna go. I was planning on going. The 101 is closed, so everyone, you know, gets moved to the ramp, and then, you know, there's just a little detour, so that's fine. We all go. There's a red light. Everyone stopped, and then the light turns green. People are about to start going, but we're still at a full stop. All of a sudden you just hear boom, and all of our cars move slightly forward. So there were 4 cars involved, and the guy, I guess the person responsible, I guess he even said it, he said he was in a rush to get somewhere that he didn't really need to be in a rush for, you know. And I kind of felt bad for the guy. He was young, of course, well, not of course, but you know, he was young. It was his first accident he's ever been in. And so he was, you know, shaken up, which I completely understand, because car accidents are like terrifying. They're traumatizing. And so I felt really bad for him. But I mean, you know, he shouldn't have been speeding, but I mean, he learned his lesson, I think, and I hope. But yeah, so he was really concerned about us. He wanted to make sure we were all good. You know, it was his fault. He knows it. Like, there's no way to deny that it was his fault. And so, you know, and you could kind of see that he was like pretty apologetic, you know, like he wasn't trying to fight it. He wasn't like, oh, you should have been going or anything like that. Like it was just clear, you know. And so he owned up to it. So called the cops or the trooper or whatever, and then he came out, and of course it's obvious whose fault the accident was. So he does the report, gets everyone's insurance, everything, all that figured out. And then yeah, that's kind of it from there. Well, okay, listen, we're just all chilling there, like waiting for, you know, the cop to get the report, so we can all leave. Your girl, I'll put the pictures in of the car so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. But your girl sees that the trunk is like kind of caved in. Happened the last time. Okay, so I'm like, oh, I wonder if the trunk's gonna even open. Like, is it jammed closed? Like, you know. So your dumb friend over here decides to go ahead and pop the trunk open. I pull the trunk open. Then it doesn't close. Look at this. So I'm just there with a car that's trunk will not close. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try to pop this down. There's no closing it at all. The trooper dude tries to help me. It's not closing, but I mean, it's fine, whatever. And he's like, well, you should probably, you know, we should try to get that closed, so I'll help you right now. We'll see if you have anything that could close it up. We looked in my trunk. There's nothing. I'm like, I'm a hair teacher, so like I don't have anything. And he's like, you have bungee cords? I'm like, no, I have this string. Like, I have yarn right here. Like, that's all I have. So he like entertains that idea for a second. Then he's like, this isn't gonna work. Let me go see if I have anything. He has nothing. So then I go to Bed Bath & Beyond and I'm like, do you guys have rope or anything? And they said no. So I'm like, you know what? I just gotta go somewhere that has the bungee thing. So I went and got some. I did it myself. Somehow I figured it out. And so I got all that situated. Insurance will call tomorrow, they said, to schedule a, you know, to kind of, what's it called? Inspect the car. See what all is gonna need to be done. Got home. Okay, let me tell you this part. This is kind of funny. I come home and I get a text and it's from the trooper guy. And he goes, hope you, like, he tells me that, like, I hope I got my trunk thing figured out, you know, whatever. So I text him a picture because I had just gotten home. Text him a picture of the trunk. And I let him know, got it. I said, like, where there's a will, there's a way, blah, 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 blah. He is basically like, oh, impressed, blah, blah, blah. I texted my group chat with my coworkers and I was like, the trooper dude texted me. And then my other coworker, he was like, wait, is that normal? Do they normally like text after? And I was like, I don't know. I know in my last car accident, no one texted me to check on me. We're just like, interesting, but whatever. I don't know. I try to just take things and think the most positive of them. Just like this incident, you know, I haven't been to church in over a year. Like, I've just not been to church in over a year. I decide I'm gonna go to church. And then, of course, this happens. But that's just how life is, you know? You can't get mad. That's just what life does. We can't control it. Why be upset over something you can't control? My last accident really messed me up mentally. Like, everything mentally, everything. I was terrified of driving, which is understandable. So let me tell you guys, I don't think you guys know, like, what actually happened in my last accident. So let me just tell you. I was leaving school. We had an event. It was kind of like a giving back event. We did like hair and stuff for this pancreatic cancer awareness event. And so I was leaving the school and when I turned to drive away toward the 17, everything was fine. It was all clear. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it wasn't clear anymore. And this guy just comes behind me and he just pushes my car. I don't remember how fast they said he was going, but he pushed my car to the other side, like, you know, don't drive this way, like, wrong way. He pushed my car to the other side. And, you know, eventually I was, like, able to, like, get back on the other side and pulled over. But he ended up crashing into a pole. Like, he seemed like he was impaired. Like, I swore they said that he had, like, beer cans in in his car, and like he was drunk or just I don't know, he seemed like something was up, you know. And so, and I swear they said that he was like drunk or something, but I don't think the report said that. But he got taken immediately before the cops even got there to go to the hospital, you know. So like there wasn't really any way for the cops to see him unless they went right away to the hospital, you know. So I don't even know what happened with that because my insurance just took over, you know. That accident it just traumatized me, you guys. Like that was the most traumatic, I'm gonna keep saying traumatic, but that was the most traumatic experience I've ever gone through. Like, you know, like first of all, being afraid to drive, and then having a rental and like being scared that you're gonna total the rental too. Like it's terrifying, you know. It's not your car and you just feel like scared to drive a rental, and then just getting your replacement car. Like, oh my God, I remember trying to get back to normal life, like trying to get back to normal life. You know, I have to drive. There's no way I can live life and not drive because I have a job, you know. We all have jobs to go to. We can't just not drive. We need our cars, so we kind of have to drive. There's no getting out of driving in life. So, and unless COVID happens. And so getting used to driving again, I remember just crying. I'm trying to get to work and then trying to get home from work. Like, I have this everywhere. But I just remember crying and crying and crying and just praying that God keep me safe. Like, I don't want to be in another accident again. Like, so scary. Like, just crying and praying to get home safe. That car, my first car, or like the first accident, that car was my baby. That was my first car I ever owned. My parents bought it for me for my graduation. So like on top of, you know, my baby getting taken away from me because it was totaled, then I felt bad because that was a gift from my parents, you know. Of course, there was nothing I could do about it. They understood that too, you know, like they wouldn't do that. But like, it was a gift from my parents. Never gonna get that back again, you know. I had it for a few years. That was just my baby. It was my first car. It came with me to Phoenix the first time, came back with me the second time. Like, that was just, we had a lot of experiences together. And so it was just sad to see it go. God, I just like ate almost all of this. I have this left. I have this thing that has a little bit of meat in it, and I have a potato. Yeah, I just ate this whole thing. It's because I'm talking. Oh my God, I did not eat all this last time. No, the last car accident was just very traumatizing, and there were a lot of tears involved. A lot of me thinking that a car was always going to come up behind me. So like, I would be driving on the 17, and let's say we have to come to a stop. Like, I was scared that they were not going to stop, because that's what happened with my accident. Like, this guy was coming full force, and I thought he was going to stop, but he didn't stop. He kept on going, and it hit me, and it was so scary. Like, so then I had that thought, you know, and even now I still have that thought of like, oh my God, they're not going to stop. The difference with this one is it wasn't right behind me. Like, we were at a full stop, you know, we were at a full stop, me and the car behind me. And it's funny because before the accident, this accident, we were driving, okay, and the blue car behind me, he actually almost hit me before the accident, you know. He actually had already almost hit me because we had to come to a sudden stop, or like a detour, sorry. We had to come to a detour, and he was driving fast. And so he saw that I stopped, and he was like, oh shoot. So he, like, you know, slammed on his brakes and kind of swerved to the side. So he ended up not hitting me. But still, even though that happened, someone else decided to come on in and just give us a little, you know, make our day. I said that the guy behind me, I saw him coming and I thought he was gonna stop, but he didn't stop, and that's why he hit me. This guy was at a full stop, so I did not even see this one coming because he was at a full stop. So I was like, okay, we're good. and then all of a sudden you just hear boom. And yeah, so that guy that hit that car, so he hit one car, that car hit the next car, and that car hit my car. Thankfully, my dad teaches me, or taught me, to keep my distance, even whenever you're stopped. Keep your distance in case someone comes and hits you. You don't want to be close, because then guess what? You're going to hit that car. So thankfully, I followed my dad's advice, and I didn't hit anyone's car, because that would have been 5 cars. My peeps are messaging me, so I'm gonna reply to them. But that's it for my story time. Thank you guys for listening to my rant, my stuff. Life is life. You can't control it. Just let it happen. You know, you'll drive yourself crazy trying to control life and everything it tries to throw at you. So just go with it. Thankful for insurance. And keep on pushing. I will be back with another video next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a beautiful day. God bless.